Tonight, Lady Esther presents the Screen Guild players in RKO's delightful farce, Bachelor Mother. It stars David Niven as David Merlin, Ginger Rogers as Polly Parrish, and Francis X. Bushman as J.B. Merlin. The Lady Esther Screen Guild players in Bachelor Mother. Our story begins on the day before Christmas, the day Polly Parrish lost her job in the department store owned by J.B. Merlin and his son, David. So, naturally, Polly went job hunting during her lunch hour. But she didn't find a job. She found a baby. The baby was wrapped in a blanket and lying in front of an orphanage door when Polly walked past. Well, almost walked past. She ran up to the step, picked up the baby, and rang the orphanage doorbell. She was standing there holding the baby when a matron opened the door.
Oh, hello. I want to give you this baby. I found it here.
Your name, please.
Polly Parrish. I was just passing by.
Are you employed anywhere?
I'm at Merlin's department. Say, why all the questions?
Well, we must know these things before we'll take your baby.
My baby? Oh, you don't understand. I was just walking along the street and I saw it lying here in the coat.
We're only here trying to help you, my dear.
Well, you're certainly being a great help. I got fired from my job today and now you want to give me...
My dear, many mothers say babies are not their own.
Now, look here. This is ridiculous. This is not my baby. I tell you, I was just walking past the place and I saw the baby and I picked it up and...
Happy day before Christmas. Fired and an unexpected mother. And that was just the beginning. Before Polly Parrish could break away from the orphanage matron, who insisted that Polly was the mother of the baby, Polly's lunch hour was over. And she hurried back to finish her last day at J.B. Merlin and Sons department store. Soon after, a store messenger came to Polly and led her to the office of David Merlin, the son in J.B. Merlin and Son. The matron from the orphanage was with him.
Come right in, Mrs.
Miss Parrish.
Miss Parrish?
I'm David Merlin, Miss Parrish. After talking to this lady from the orphanage, I'm convinced your discharge was a great mistake.
Tragedy is for the word, Mr. Merlin.
So the job is yours for as long as you care to have it.
Oh, thank you.
And you're being raised $5 a week. We want you to realize, Miss Parrish, that Merlin's department store is the store with a heart.
Oh.
Now, I want to wish you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas.
Oh, well, thank you, and the same to you. Goodbye, Mr. Merlin.
Goodbye. She's a very nice-looking girl.
Oh, yes, the poor thing.
You know, I can just see the ecstasy that'll be on her face tonight when she receives her real Christmas present from J.B. Merlin and Son.
I said?
What?
You heard what I said you heard what I said. You take that baby out of this apartment this minute.
Oh, I beg your pardon, miss. This child was sent special rush by J.B. Merlin and Son. Merry Christmas. Good night.
Come back here and get this baby. Oh, listen, kid. This is nothing personal. Oh, I'd love to have you around, but I really couldn't do right by you. Here. Take your thumb out of your mouth and give your teeth a chance. All right, ruin your face. Who is it?
Fred, you ready to go stepping, baby?
You said it, kid. Come in, Fred.
Hey, all ready to go. Is that yours?
No, it isn't mine.
Well, where did it come from?
I got it for Christmas.
Huh? You don't mean Santa Claus?
Look, I don't know what you're thinking, but you're all wrong.
Oh, sure, of course.
Just as soon as I get my coat and hat on, we'll go.
Well, now, look,
Don't worry about a thing, Fred. It's all right, baby. Let's go.
Hey, you mean we're taking the kid, too?
Certainly. Why wait till the after-Christmas rush to exchange a present you can't use? I'm going to play Santa Claus, too, at the residence of J.B. Merlin and Son. The son of a gun.
Yes, miss?
Is this the home of Mr. David Merlin?
Yes, miss.
Well, I must see him. It's a personal matter. He'll know what it's about when he sees me.
Well, couldn't you write him a letter?
Do you think this came as a postcard?
I really couldn't say, miss. However, I may say that it will be impossible for you to see Mr. David Merlin.
All right then. You take the baby. That's the way I got it.
But here, miss, you can't do this to me.
And tell Mr. David Merlin that Miss Parrish left it here. And he'll have to use his influence to get it back at that orphanage. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye? Rock-a-bye, baby. Mr. Merlin! On the treetop. Mr. David! When the wind blows... Oh, shut up!
How about letting a fella in for a smoke, Polly?
Oh, it's 2 a.m., Fred, and I have to get up early.
Oh, come on, let me in for just a minute.
I said no. Come on. Go on. Go home, Fred.
No, I don't feel like that, Polly. You said no once. Now let me in.
Perhaps you didn't understand the young lady.
Who's Mr. Merlin?
Well, I was just... No, that is... well, Polly... good night, Mr. Merlin. Good night.
Well, how did you get in here, Mr. Merlin?
The landlady let us in.
Us?
Your baby and me. Miss Parrish, I have seen some low things in my time, but a mother who would abandon her child just to go out on a date.
Would it interest you to know that I am not the mother of that child?
All right, so you're not the mother. You're not employed either.
You're firing me?
I have fired you, and as you go from place to place hunting a job, you will find that no store in the Merchants of America Association, of which I am junior chairman, will hire you. I'll see to that.
Why, that's persecution.
And that'll be just the beginning, Miss Parrish, believe me. Now, do you want to keep your baby and get your job back, or do you want to be jailed for child abandonment?
But, well, you don't give me much choice. I'd like to have my job back.
Ah, that's much better. And as the years go by, Miss Parrish, and you and your manly little son stroll into life's sunset together, you'll thank me for saving you from this terrible temptation.
Well, I'm not as bad as you think.
Well, then why did you do it?
Well, there was no one I could turn to.
What about your husband, the baby's father?
Huh? Well, you see, we were never formally introduced.
Oh, poor child. Well, I must be going. Now, don't worry about a thing.
Thank you, Mr. Merlin.
That's all right. Good night, Miss Parrish.
Good night, Mr. Merlin. Just a second, kid. Oh, what am I going to do with you? Have you any ideas? All right. But don't blame me if you get stuck with a safety pin. And I'm just an amateur at folding, too. Who is it?
The landlady, Mrs. Weiss. Could I maybe come in a minute?
Why?
What are you trying to do? Hide the baby? Oh, I know about it. I know. Oh, you. Just like you, it looks.
Huh? Are you kidding?
Certainly not. I know from babies. And for you, this baby, I'm taking care of personally while you're working there. Listen to him talking.
Talking? What's he saying?
Who knows with that dialect?
Morning, Polly.
Don't talk too loud, Fred. You'll wake me up.
I get it. Walking the floor with the baby, huh? Mm-hmm. Speaking of the baby, Polly, how's about your getting me a little better job in this joint?
What are you driving at?
Of course, I suppose I could pass my information along to David's old man, J.B. Do myself some good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The baby. David's baby.
David Merlin's baby? I didn't even know he was married.
Well, if you don't, nobody does. But regardless of that, don't forget to tell him I want a better job.
Come on, baby. Eat. Eat now. Oh, here. Look at Mama. Look. You certainly go in for sophisticated entertainment. Come in.
Hello.
Oh, Hello, Mr. Merlin.
Miss Parrish, do you realize this is New Year's Eve?
Oh, well, I'll take your word for it. The way I feel, it could be New Year's morning.
Well, it suddenly occurred to me that you must be having a pretty bad evening. I'm going to a New Year's party, and I thought you'd like to come along.
Well, I'd like to go, but I can't leave the baby.
I've already spoken to your landlady. She'd be glad to watch it.
Oh, well, there's something else.
What?
Look, me with a sweater and skirt. We'd make half of a very lovely couple.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'll take care of the clothes. We'll go down to the store, take a complete outfit from stock. Evening gown, slippers, mink coat. Oh, and if you promise not to tell a soul, I might slip you a pair of nylons.
Oh, David, I think you've been drinking.